What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another day in Car Mechanic Simulator with me, the Virtual Mechanic, and today's beautiful project, the new mod, or coming soon mod, should I say, the Mitsubishi Eclipse, looking pretty good. This is officially the DSM PJ. Now, DSM stands for Diamond Star Motors, which is a collaboration between the Chrysler of America and Mitsubishi, looking pretty good. They later became the Mitsubishi Motor Manufacturing of America Incorporated. That was much later on, though. At this point in time, it was still the DSM, and the PJ is the platform that all these cars were built on. There we go. But lots of different stuff coming out of it later on. Mostly just facts, focusing on this Mitsubishi Eclipse. Looking pretty good. We got ours from the auction house, and it is in terrible, terrible condition. Definitely missing a lot of parts, and this body is awful. Although that rear bumper looks relatively new. We'll leave that at that. Let's talk some facts and figures. I bought this car for $11,623 and could only sell it for $9,601, losing out on 2022, which is never good to start. We like to get much better starts than that. The engine in this is the i4 double overhead cam 4x4 engine on. We have worked on two of them very recently with the two time attack builds we have done. They did have a lot more starting horsepower, though. This one only starts with 305 factory horsepower, but we know we can increase it quite considerably when we come to upgrade that beautiful little engine there. The competition has started. Go and build your beautiful green Salem Spectres, enter them into the competition, and win your hands on a free copy of the new Ford DLC when it comes out, hopefully later this month. Let's crack on, though. Let's get started with this beautiful Mitsubishi Eclipse. Let's get over to the car wash. Let's get it cleaned up. Here we are then in the car wash. Let's get it cleaned. Under you go there and see, get rid of all that dust and grime. Never looks good. Off you come. Doesn't really change that much. I think it was mostly just rusty anyway. But we'll get the interior done and we'll get it back on the lift. Get that engine ripped out of there and start stripping everything else down. Before we lift this one in the air and start checking for that oil pan, I'm going to get in and get this starter out so that I don't forget it, because I have forgot it every other time. Luckily, last time we didn't need to take it out, so it didn't matter. But now let's get it up in the air. Check for that oil pan. There is one there. So let's go and get the oil drain and get all of that drained out. How bad are you? Very bad. Very, very bad indeed. And not a lot in there. Definitely it needed topping up at the very least. Now, this is four-wheel drive, as we've seen from this beautiful 4x4 engine. Let's get started, though. We need to get these wheels and front drive shafts off, so I'm going to start with that, and I'll be back in just a second. That's the front wheels and front drive axles out. Let's get in and get this main drive shaft out. You come. Rusty bolt there. Only had one other one in that front section. Out you come with another little rusty bolt there. Now we should be able to get this front drive shaft out, and then this gearbox out of here. Nicely done. Nice and simple. Out you come. We are going to grab this front exhaust section. Words there, just to make it a little bit easier when we rip that engine block out. And let's go and grab the engine crane. Wow, struggling with words today. Engine crane. There we go. Get that engine pulled out of there and see what we've got inside the engine bay. Then what have we got in here? Looks like quite a bit. Straight away, we got an air filter just there. We got the fuse box with a lovely little cover. ECU, which I always seem to miss, tucked just down there. Power steering reservoir, coolant reservoir, wishy-washy reservoir. Then we got a brake servo, ABS pumper module just jotted in there with the battery there, and the pump and fuel tank just down at the back. Also, a big radiator fan with the single fan housing kit on there, looking pretty good. Quickly just double check that there's nothing else missing from the engine bay. There is not. Then we shall get in and drain all of these liquids. You know the drill by now. Right click, additional tools, drain tools. Click and hold on the container and it'll all drain out. I shall be back in a minute with all of this stripped out and we will focus on the bodywork. Just in here, scrapping a few bits off, and decided I'm going to change the amount for when we do our next 3-star build. I said it was going to be 50,000 scrap. I feel like that is a long stretch away, so I'm going to bring it down to 40,000 scrap. It still seems like it's going to be pretty far away, but it's a lot closer than 50,000. We've still got a bit to work on, though, so I'm going to crack on at scrapping all of this off. I'll see you in a minute. That's everything repaired, replaced, or upgraded, ready to go back on our beautiful little Mitsubishi Eclipse. We need to get started stripping this bodywork off, though, so let's take off what we've got left, because there really isn't a lot. Out with the headlights, out with that fender. Is that a part? No, that is just built onto the body. Loving that. Round we go. Any of this. Rear bumper. Out you come. These two pieces. One part. Loving that. Out with the tail light. Out with the trunk. And that may be it. We'll grab the interior out and then we will double check. Just the 2 seats, no steering wheel at the moment, so we'll have to pick one to go in there. But have we got everything? That's not the screen I want. 1% on there, nothing showing up on there. So we have got everything before we go and grab that welder. Frame is at 2%, and I bought the car for just over 11,500. So what do we think? Probably not a lot, but I'm going to go with 800. 900, not far off at all. Let's check out the body shop for this beautiful Eclipse. It's the first time I've been in here, so let's take a look. We've got some cloth and leather seats if we want them in the back. Loving that, along with, by the looks of, a roll cage, or the Fast and Furious edition, get some beautiful NOS in there as well. Bumper bars, no idea. We'll have to have a play with that. The exhausts, I'm quite pleased with these. These are the ones we've got at the moment. Obviously, I think we're going to be sticking with them because I think we're going to stick with rear bumper E, but at least they're labelled. These ones go with J, these ones go with G, so on and so forth. Front bumper options, there are quite a few. Not sure what we're going to go with. We're going to make sure it all fits in together, so we'll have a little play with that. Oh, well, it's definitely going to be one of the 2 wide bodies there. Yeah, don't know, but they do say they only go with C or D headlights, or these ones only go with A or B. So we've got some options. Power windows, I like that, which means you won't have a manual roller in there. Then just a plain one. Power windows with a leather panel insert, so depending on if you want to go for leather panel. This is for the Eagle, which is a slightly different model, so there we go. But there is lots to play around with. Wide body fenders, obviously one of these 2, we don't know. We'll play with that. Few different hoods. That one's specifically for a Fast and Furious edition, but we've got some options ourselves, along with a couple more up here. Then we got the headlights, different years, different models, a bit of tinted. That's for the Eagle, and the Talon. Oh, the Talon's the other model. A couple of different wing mirror options, and then some more tail light options as we go down. Rear bumpers, there's quite a lot, but obviously the one we're going for specifically fits our exhaust system that we're going to use, so we'll come to that when we come to it. We'll find out which one it is. Lots of different fender options on there. Ours was missing all the fenders, so that'll be fun. Then we got the wide body sections. That's what we'll probably be going back on ours. Lots to play around with on here. 7 pages of stuff. More fenders, more fenders. Then we've got the trunks. No badging. Only the Mitsubishi badge. GS badge, GST, GSX, GSX, so on and so forth. With the Eclipse tail lights, I'm hoping that works with what we've got going on, because I kind of want to put that one back in there. Then we've got some spoiler options there, the big old Fast and Furious wing. I think ours is meant to come with this one, but I'm definitely thinking of changing it because I'm not a big fan of it. But we shall see. And then a couple of different windshield options on there as well. So there's lots to be playing around with on this beautiful Mitsubishi Eclipse. But we need to get ours all back together before we head over to the paint shop and pick what we're going to do with it today, because you guys know, because you've seen the thumbnail, I haven't actually been through and thought about the process yet. So we'll find out what I decide to go for in a little while. Time to start getting our beautiful little Eclipse all back together. Let's talk about what we've got on here then. I've gone for the hood F, which has got the little black accents on there. Obviously, you can't see it on that black hood. The headlights I went for with a tinted 97 to 99 Eclipse headlights. Car part 1 I kept as it was, which is the medium bumper bar. There are 2 other options. I just figured this one would fit the most with the rest of what we're doing here. Front bumper I, which is the one that uses with the COD headlights, which is the 97 to 99 and the wide body variant. Also with some black accents on there, looking pretty good. Fenders are the wide body ones, the Fender's Eye, which go perfectly with that hood. So on you go there. Windshield, we went for the 97 to 99 B windshield. The doors, now there are 2 doors that look exactly the same. There's the C and I believe the E. The difference is this squared off edge here. On the C, it's very square. On the E, it's curved. I'm assuming for a slightly different model. So we're going to go with the ones that came on it just to make it fit better. Let's get the windows in. In you go and in you go. I should have done that interior before there, but never mind. The mirrors we kept as they were, obviously just new ones. Then we got the rear fenders on there that go, the rear fenders eye go with the rest of the kit there. But it does sort of block off the fuel door there. Bit weird, but there we go. Just one of them things. Rear bumper, on you go with the bumper L for the wide body. That says it's meant to go with it and is the one that came with it in the first place. And the exhausts are car part 2E, which we kept as they were because they fit the bumper perfectly and look pretty good. Hopefully, we can get a bit of colour on them a little bit later on. Did go for the Eclipse centre light there because I just think it looks really good. And then the matching outlights there, which are the Bs. Looking very good on there. The trunk, we went for the GSX badge, which is what came on it originally. Looking pretty good there. Can see that we might have changed the spoiler just a little bit. In with the rear window, the spoiler, we did go for the Fast and Furious one. I just think it fits the mean sort of style and look of this body that we've gone for on here. Onto the other side, in with that fender, we'll get that mirror in, and then we'll pick car part 3 in, and we kept it as it was, which was the leather rear seats. Hopefully they'll match the rest of the interior when we get that in a little bit. In we go with the other door, in we go with the window, and then that last little mirror on there. License plates, I went for my VM plates, just with Eclipse written on them. Pretty boring, I know, but it is what it is. On we go there, on we go there. Let's throw the interior in, and then we'll double check we have got everything before heading over to the paint shop. Kept the seats as they were, because hopefully they match that rear bench in there. We'll check in a second. And the steering wheel, I did just keep as it was. Fits the build, I think, but we may change it later on. Let's go back into normal mode and have a look. Yes, them seats do match perfectly. Very, very pleased with that. Looking good in there. Now, is that everything? We want to go into this screen. 100%, 100%, 100%. Fantastic. Let's get this little beast into the paint shop and see what we're going to do with it. Well, here we are then with the beautiful Mitsubishi Eclipse. I've done it in this very metallic-y red on here, looking very, very good. Pleased with that. Engine bay is very metallic-y red as well, which I'm quite pleased about. Normally this goes a bit of a matte colour, but we're going to keep this one very shiny today. Down at the back here, we've done the spoiler in a bit of a black. This normally sits in a grey, so we've overpainted that to give the main part of the spoiler a bit of black. And in the interior, we managed to get the front and back seats all matching with a bit of red in there, looking very good. And also a splash of red on that steering wheel. And then down the back, we've got some bronzed exhausts, and they are looking absolutely incredible. I'm going to aim for a lot of bronze on this build. Red, bronze, and black is what we're going for today, and I think it looks absolutely fantastic, and I can't wait to see this one all together. So let's get it back on the lifter. I'm going to get everything painted, then we can start reassembly. We've got everything painted, ready to go back on our Mitsubishi Eclipse. I did show you the steering wheel, but I did change it, so I just figured I'd show you which one we changed it to. Steering wheel 12 with a lovely bit of red on it to go on there. Looking pretty good, but let's get you up in the air, beautiful Eclipse. And let's start getting some of this together. We've got red shocks, red springs, and black caps on there. Looking pretty good, just for a splash of red, because the rest of it under here isn't very red, if we're being honest. We'll start with a large intercooler in a lovely bronze colour, matching in with that exhaust down the back there. Then we've got the front suspension cross member in that bronze orange as well, along with the front steering knuckle, looking pretty good. Steering racks in a black with that front sway bar just in that little red there. And the inner and outer tie rod are both in a black as well, looking pretty good. On with that shock that we've already seen, just for a splash or more of that red up there. And then the sway bar end link is in a black. That's all looking pretty good so far. Let's get some more in. The lower suspension arms in black, keeping them colours nice and separated. Looking very good. The knuckle covers in black. Then we've got the front wheel hub in that bronze. On you go there. Let's just get a few more bits in. And I've just remembered the rubber bushings while we're here. In you go. And in you go over there. Then we did the bearing. We got the brake disc. We've got the brake pad. And then for some lovely chrome red brake calipers to go on here, finishing off a bit of red underneath. We do have a drive axle to go in, but that can't go in until a little bit later on. So let's get down the back and let's sort this stuff out down here. The rear suspension cross member also in that bronze, and the knuckle in the bronze, same as the front. In with the rubber bushings, one there, one here. Oh, bolted up, and then one just down here. In you go. Then we got all the suspension arms. They are all in a black. Looking very good. Matching in with sort of like the middle section here in black. Looking good. So we'll get on and get all of these in. If I can select them all. There we go. In you go there. And then we got another one just down here. If I can press and hold for long enough. There we go. In you go. Then we got the side arm, which I have kept also in that black. I did try that with bronze, but I feel like it was a little bit too much. The shock absorber we've got in that red. Looking good. Matching the front shock up there. Looking very nice. Spring caps in the bronze. Then we got the spring in the red, and then the spring topper or cap on the top in just a little black. The rear sway bar is also in a red, matching in with that front, and the sway bar end link at the rear in a little black there. Another rubber bushing in there, in you go, and then we can get the rest of this finished up. The hub in black, or the knuckle cover, should I say. The hub in the bronze, on you go. Then we got a bearing. Drive axle, now this is the same colour as the drive axle in the front, in the black, keeping it all sort of blacked out in the middle there. Then we get the brake disc on, brake pad, and that chrome red brake caliper. On you go. Looking very good. Very pleased with that. Fuel tank up here in a lovely sort of shiny red with the fuel pump in a forced chromed bronze on there. Looking very, very good. I'm going to crack on and get the rest of this all finished, and we'll move up to this engine bay. There's a little bit of colour in there, but not too special before we go and build that beautiful engine. Bronze, red, and black in all of the suspension are looking very, very good. Do let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And don't forget to leave a comment. Let me know which car you would like to see us the next time we fully 3-star build something. When we get to 40,000 scraps, when we'll be doing it. But do let me know in the comments below what you'd like to see completely 3-starred as we challenge for the speederboard. But let's get on and get this engine bay all together. Air filter just blacked out, same as that fuse box in there. Looking pretty good. Don't forget it is very sort of metallic-y red in here. ECU in you go. And then we've got the battery up here, the coolant reservoir, the ABS pump, which is in that bronze color, with the module in a black on top of it because it was too much with both of them in that bronze color. Brake servo just in its normal color up here. Wishy-washy reservoir in you go. Then we've got the power steering reservoir. Then we've got this beautiful radiator in that bronze color with the fan housing kit in a black. And then the fan in a full force chromed bronze on there. Looking absolutely fantastic. Very, very pleased with that engine bay. Just come off of there and go into there. Looking pretty good. Quite pleased with that. Now, one thing that's been suggested to me in Discord, and I want to know if you guys think this would be quite good. I'm considering doing a full video where we just build and paint an engine so I can show you guys the different colors I use and the different ways I mix the colors and change their contrasts a little bit just to make them better balanced. If you guys want to see that, do let me know in the comments below. Just leave a thumbs up in the comments if that's something you're interested in, because I'm quite thinking some of you might want to see it. If you don't, that's absolutely fine. I won't do it, but do let me know in the comments below. But let's go and build this beautiful i4 engine. Looks pretty plain on there at the moment, black on black with the engine block and the oil pan both blacked out. But we've got to get some stuff on here. And we might as well just start with that big old engine head at the top in that force chrome bronze. Looking very, very good up there. Then we got some bits to go on down here. We've got idle rollers, and I have painted everything under the cover today just so we can get a better look. The water pumps in that red on there looking very good. And then we've got a few more bits to go in a little bit later on. Alternator down here in that lovely bronze color. Then we've got the power steering pump also in the bronze. The oil filter down here is in a red, but it's only the rim that goes a bit that metallic-y red. The rest of it's black, which fits in really well. Fuel filter up here in that red as well. And then we're going to move on and get all of the innards done in here. I've talked about this in the last 2 episodes. 2 camshafts, obviously. 4 camshaft caps for each camshaft. So 8 in total. And then 4 spark plugs running down the middle. I'll get all of that done. I'll see you in a second. That's all of them bits on the inside of the engine head done. We're going to move down here and get these fuel injectors in next. There, another splash of that red under there. Nipping on around, in you go. And in you go there. Then we've got this intake manifold on top. Force chromed in the bronze, looking fantastic. Over here, the exhaust manifold also forced chrome in that bronze, looking very, very good. And then down here, the turbo. Now, I didn't force chrome this one because I wanted these little bits of red just to stay on it. But we did try and match it the best we could. It's not far off. This has got a lot more shine to it than this has, but it still looks very, very good. Over here we go then. A cam gear on you go, bolted up. Then we should have a lovely turpentine belt and then the belt tensioner, which I have done in that red. It's going to be under the cover, so it doesn't matter. But I figured I'd just paint it this time anyway. Force chromed on that timing cover on there. Looking very, very good. Bolt you down. Then we've got the crankshaft pulley, also in that bronze. And then the belt in black with the idle roller in another lovely little black just down there. If we nip over to this side, we've got the back timing cover to sort out. So we've got a cam gear in here, a timing chain. If I could click on it, there we go. And another cam gear in there. And then the timing cover on this is that force chrome bronze. Looking absolutely fantastic. Loving that. Engine head cover then. We just kept that one in a black today. I was tempted with force chroming it in the bronze, but I feel like we've got enough and we want a bit of separation up here. The ignition coils, though, they are in that bronze. Looking absolutely fantastic. There we go. That is that beautiful engine done. Black, tiny splash of red, a little bit of bronze. I forgot the throttle. We'll get you in. We've left that one in the red as well, just for a tiny splash of that. Now is that engine finished? My bad for forgetting that one. So we're going to grab some pictures, get it all finished up, get it dropped into our beautiful Mitsubishi Eclipse. Our beautiful black and bronze engine with a tiny splash of red. Let's get it dropped in the Mitsubishi and see how good it looks. Over we go. And let's get you dropped in and get this crane put away. That's looking pretty good. You can see the reds are reflecting off of the chromeness of that bronze. Looking absolutely fantastic. Very, very pleased with that one. Looking great. But we need to get underneath because we got a gearbox. We got some exhaust, which is going to match in with this, hopefully. And a little bit of drive shaft to go in there as well. So let's get started. Up near the front is where I want to go first. In with the gearbox in that bronze colour. Looking absolutely fantastic. Force chromed, so it perfectly matches in. Then we've got the front drive shaft, also force chromed in the bronze, so it doesn't look too out of place resting on top there. Drive axles, we already said these were going to be in black, so let's just get them in. One there and one here. In you go, and in you go there. Then we've got the front exhaust section. Obviously, all of this is the force chrome bronze. All looking good. Now, one thing you will notice is it doesn't quite connect to the exhaust pipes at the end. We'll take a look at that in just a moment. In with the drive shaft, though, this is just blacked out in there on the bronze. Into the bronze, looking pretty good. Keeping some of it blacked out. Really pleased with this one. Looks absolutely fantastic. Let's take a look underneath, though. As you can see, they don't match up. There's a few bits in the way. It's a bit of a shame. But when it's down on the ground, as we go now, down you go, or a little bit lower, you can't see that they don't match up because it all connects in underneath. Looking fantastic. Sort of blending it all in. Excellent job there by Payne. We got one more piece to go in before we can crack on. And that's this beautiful little starter down here, just in that bronze. There we go. I'm going to get all the liquids topped up. All the wheels done. Windows tinted. Then we get this beautiful Eclipse outside in the sun. Well, here it is then, all finished with the beautiful Mitsubishi Eclipse by Payne. Not fully out yet. There isn't any liveries for it either at the moment. I believe that's what we're waiting for the full release. So I've just gone for something cool looking today. Let's get that hood open. Looking absolutely beautiful under there in that bronze. In the force chrome, most of it. Absolutely loving it. Even the suspension underneath in the same sort of colour. If it'll let me scroll out a little bit. There we go. Let's talk about these rims, though. I went for the rim 3 today, and I took some of the shininess out of the bronze for the rims. I thought it was a bit too much for the outside. Still looking pretty good, though. 19-inch rims here at the front with a 235 width and a 35 profile. We'll also have a tiny bit of ET on here. I've put ET5 just to bring it out a little tiny bit, not too much. It did originally start with 10, but I felt it was just clipping a little bit with that front fender. Down the back is exactly the same size on the rim, a 19-inch rim, 235 width, 35 profile, but the ET at the back here is ET10, just bringing them out a little bit further than the fronts, but they did start at ET15. Not quite as shiny as the exhaust. I just wanted to dull it down just a little bit, but it still looks absolutely fantastic. Very, very pleased with this one. Let's jump inside and check out this interior. Now, we've obviously got some red on the front seats. I'm going to jump back out again. And a bit of red on them back seats there, blending in. And a little bit of red on the steering wheel. The interior looks absolutely fantastic. Excellent job by Payne, as always. But let's get this one started and hear that i4 engine for the 3rd time in a row. There it is, the tick over we've all heard. Give it some gas. There's that turbo whistle. Absolutely fantastic. But let's get this beast onto the dyno, see what its horsepower will be and what this one's drag rating is. Here she is then on the dyno with the wide-body Mitsubishi Eclipse. 305 factory horsepower from that inline-4 engine. How much have we added on today's with the performance parts? And what will this one's drag rating be? I'm not expecting anything special, but let's have a look. A gain of 284 horsepower, a gain of 93%. So we did actually gain quite a bit in comparison, but it was low to begin with, bringing us up to a measured power of 588 horsepower. Don't quite see this one making it into the speederboard at top 10 today, especially with a drag rating of A, 457. We're in the top class, just very low down inside that class, which is a bit of a shame, but we'll see how good it will be on the drag strip in just a moment. Gearbox tuning setup, this is what I've gone for today. I've spent a little while fiddling and playing with this one. I've added an extra gear. I've brought the ratio down to 3.5, mixed around with these gears a little bit. This is kind of the best I could come up with. I'm sure some of you guys could do better. Do let me know in the comments below if you can. We do have the ECU fully tuned and obviously no carburetors. So let's get onto the drag strip, see what the Mitsubishi Eclipse can do. Here we are then on the drag strip with the Mitsubishi Eclipse. Let's go in. Only A457, remember. King of the Sands, 1 mile. A-class, which is 401 plus. We are only just in it. Pay our 1,000 and see who we've got today. Hoping for not too many unicorns. No unicorns. That's definitely impressive. Who have we got in with us today then? French Toast is our first race in the Chieftain TBX SCC. I'm not quite sure what version that is. You've got Suzumis in the Bolt Reptilia, my version of the PN8, loving that. We got Pi in the Porsche Carrera GT as well, so we've got a few people up here. We will have to battle them early on if they make it through. For example, Suzumis makes it through, he'll be our next race, and if Pi makes it through too, it'll be our third race, and our final will be a choice from somebody down here. But we got some interesting cars in this one today. Unfortunately, let's see how we can get on with French Toast. I hope we win. One day would be me and French Toast in the final. That's the goal. That's what we're aiming for. Hopefully one day soon. Lovely bit of Law muscle car on the start line there. Driven by French Toast in the Chieftain TBX SCC against our beautiful widebody Mitsubishi Eclipse. Who's going to win this one? Muscle cars do normally have the legs. Hopefully we get a good enough start that we can get this one off the line and across the finish line before the TBX. So let's find out. Let's go. Off the line, not the quickest start. Into second, into third. Where's that Chieftain? Nowhere near us at the moment, but I think I can hear it. I'm not sure. Let's get into fifth gear. We do have another gear just in case we need it. I'm just really hoping we don't lose the first race to that Chieftain TBX. Let's get, oh, there it goes. Yeah, I figured we were going to. This car doesn't quite have the top end to keep going. I fiddled with the gearing so much. I couldn't ever get it to go above 233 kilometers an hour on the drag strip, no matter what I tried. Are we even going to get that now? No, it's only 232 on this run. We are out in the first race. That's a bit of a shame. Bit disappointed by that one. But the Mitsubishi Eclipse is still fun nonetheless. We will do 2 more 1v1s just quickly, just so we can get some base times down. So at the moment, we're at 11.22 to the quarter of a mile. We did beat the Chieftain to the quarter of a mile. Our 1 mile time, though, 31.161. We just can't get above higher than 233. As I say, in all of the testing I did, I couldn't get it higher than 233. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. I'm not sure. But there we go. Congratulations, French Toast, winning the first race, knocking us out. Let's see who's going to take the final championship in this tournament, and then we'll do a couple of 1v1s. Well, unfortunately, we are just 1,000 credits down because we paid to enter and then lost the first race to French Toast. Is French Toast going to make it in to the final? Sadly, Pi's been knocked out and Suzumis has been knocked out as well. So the only person we are rooting for is French Toast in that Chieftain TBX. He's against the Nissan Skyline Raid. How's this going to go? Let's get in and take a look. Oh, French Toast is through to the next round against the Chevrolet Bel Air Resto mod. Pretty good. Down here, we've got another Skyline Raid and a Chevrolet Bel Air Resto mod Cruiser. So a slightly different version there. Let's see who's going to make it through. Oh, sadly, French Toast is out. But we've got the Resto mod versus the Resto mod Cruiser in the final. Who's going to take that one? It is the Resto mod Cruiser that takes the final victory. Now, obviously, we haven't won any credits because, well, we lost the first race. Thanks, French Toast. But there we go. Let's see what else this lovely little Mitsubishi Eclipse can do in 2 more quick 1v1s. Let's get into it then. A 1v1, 1 mile, 3 randomizations. 1, 2, 3. We're against the Ford Fiesta Rallycross. That's a pretty epic one. Bit higher than us in the drag rating. Let's see how we do. We already know the Ford Fiesta Rallycross is pretty quick, and in that Rockstar livery, it looks very, very good as well. Not quite as good as our Mitsubishi Eclipse today. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. So let's jump inside. Let's just go and try and beat this Rallycross. Off the line. That was a slightly better start than the first run. Into second, into third, into fourth. And yeah, I think we're still going to lose, though. This just doesn't quite have the legs. Again, can't get it past 233 kilometers an hour. Don't know what to do with it, but we'll just finish this off. We'll see what sort of times we can get to mark down on the speederboard, although we already know it won't be in the top 10. So let's just get across the finish line and see what it is. That took a lot longer than I anticipated. What sort of time did we get down? 11.104. Quicker than our first run. Definitely pleased with that. 31.184 to the 1 mile. Not quite as quick as our first run, which is a bit of a shame. And a slightly slower top speed as well. I thought we got a much better start to the quarter of a mile. And then, I don't know, maybe I changed gear a little bit too late in a few of them. Bit bizarre, that one. But let's do 1 more 1v1 just to get a base time down. 3 more randomizations. 1, 2, 3. And we're against the Smith & Parker Outlaw N. A little bit lower than us on the drag rating, so we might have a chance to actually win a drag race, and it could be our last drag race. Let's get in See how we do against this one. It's black and baby pink, and a little part of me absolutely loves that. I think that looks fantastic. There we go. Is it going to be our red and bronze Mitsubishi Eclipse? Hopefully not. Let's get in. Let's go. Off the line, into second, into third. Where are you? We're pulling away at the beginning. It seems to have sort of steadied off a little bit now. Please don't catch us. I think it's going to catch us. It's definitely going to catch us and fly past us. I don't know what it is about this one. As I said, we played with this engine in the last 2 episodes and they were insanely fast. This version just not quite as quick. But anyway, let's see what this run has in hold for us this time. Can we get a better run than our first run? Let's find out. There we go, across the line. What have we got? 11.230. Not as good as our first run, and not as good as our fastest to the quarter of a mile, which was our second run, which was an 11.104, which is the one we will be marking down for the beautiful Mitsubishi Eclipse. Might not be fast on the drag strip, but it's definitely a good-looking car. Well, there we have it, 45th on the speederboard from our beautiful little Mitsubishi Eclipse. Was hoping for a little bit better, but it's one of them things. Out of 51, it's not last, and it's not even in the bottom 5. So we're happy with that. It could have been a lot worse. Plus, this one looks absolutely fantastic. But let's talk some facts and figures about this one. I bought the car for $11,623 and could have sold it at a loss at the beginning for $2,022. That would have been how much we would have lost out of. We obviously didn't do that. We've since spent a further $66,101, putting our total spend at $77,724. Hopefully we can claw a little bit of that back in a little while. We're going to find out how much it costs. Our total spend was $77,724. Can we make some profit from this little Mitsubishi Eclipse? I certainly hope so, but let's find out. There she is then, all 100% finished, looking absolutely beautiful. Engine ramped up to 588 horsepower from 305 factory, a gain of 93%. Was a good numbers, just not quite good starting numbers to get us up into the really high numbers that you can get from these beautiful little i4 double overhead cam engines. But the real question is, can we make some money? Oh, we can indeed. A sale of 122,901 minus our 77,724. It would be a Payne build, all of the 7s. Leaves us with a profit of 45,177 minus our entry fee for the drag strip that we lost out on. Leaves us with 44,177 a profit. Now, I can't put a link to this one in the description below because it isn't out yet, so I can't share it with everybody. When it comes out, I will try and remember to come back to this video and add the link in. What I will do, though, is I'll put a link to Payne's Patreon, where you can support Payne as the mod creator that he is, and you can also get this Toyo Tire Pack, one of the tiers. I'm not sure which one it is, but I'll put a link in the description below so you can go and check it out for yourself. The tire packs do require the quality of life mod as well. But anyway, let's say goodbye to this beautiful Eclipse for our tiny little bit of profit of 44,177. What have we got up next? Well, you've already seen the trailer was empty earlier because I was undecided. But we're going to go for this absolute beast next of all. I'm looking forward to this one. This is the 1990 Ford F100. Beautiful truck, but it's the Barefoot V12. And yeah, I mean, that's a big old V12 on there. I imagine this one's going to be a little bit insane. Maybe even too insane for us here on the VM channel. The engine in this one is the V12HE, and it starts with 1,532 horsepower. That's without us putting any performance parts in it, which we will definitely be doing. Did I get a good deal on this one? I didn't. Obviously, it's me. 22,331 is what I paid, and I could sell it for 17,988, losing out on 4,334. No, 43, other way around. But just before we go, what do you guys think about me doing an engine build with colouring? You know, do the full, complete engine build with the trips to the paint shop, showing you how I change the colours a little bit, adjust a few little bits to show you how I get them to match as well as I do without force chroming it. Most of today's engine was force chromed, so that doesn't count. But do let me know what you guys think of that in the comments below. But this is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I do hope you did enjoy today's video. If you did, please consider hitting that subscribe button. And we're so close to 1,000 subscribers now, and we cannot wait to get there. Everyone that's already subscribed, thank you so much. It's definitely helped support this beautiful channel. Do leave us a like, leave us a comment down below. Again, let me know what you think of the building an engine with all the colours, and what car you think we should 3-star next time we're going to 3-star. Hope you have a wonderful day, whatever you're getting up to. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.